Happy morning, children. Welcome back to the class of English. How are you, children? Are you safe at home? Hope you will be enjoying all your days. But it should not be always fun. We have to learn our lessons too. And as we usually take the test in every class, this is the test for today's class from the previous portions. Very simple test. Just take down the question in your English note, finish off this test, and then go for the rest of the lesson. Let me read out the questions one by one. First question, give the meaning of the following. 5 words are there. Number 1, turnstile. Number 2, verge. Number 3, casting. Number 4, brigadier. Number 5, hollyhocks. For these 5 words, you have to give the meaning. And second section, you have to say true or false for the following statements. First statement, the man visited the house to buy it. Number 2, the girl is playing on the turnstile when the man visits the house. Number 3, he is the friend of girl's father. The man who visited the house is the friend of girl's father. He planted a mango tree when he lived there. He planted a mango tree when he lived there. Number 5, the parents of the girl was away when he was invited. The parents of the girl was away when he was invited. These are the very simple questions. You have to write down the meanings of these 5 words: turnstile, verge, casting, brigadier, and hollyhocks. And 5 statements for which you have to say true or false. Very simple test, right? Once finished the test, you can go on for the rest of the video. And here comes the recall of the previous class. Hope you remember it. This lesson is the part 2 of the previous class, and in part 1, that was a man who is looking at the house where he lived in his childhood. He lived in one particular house when he was 10 years old maybe. After he grown up and went to other city, he came back and he's just looking at the house where he lived. And on visiting the house, he just recollected all the memories about the jackfruit tree. His grandmother planted the jackfruit tree there. That is his favorite place. And there was a turnstile. Turnstile means a mechanical gate at the entrance of every official building. And he used to play in this turnstile until he feels dizzy. And he recollected all these memories when he lived there with his family. And when he is recollecting, a little girl is noticing this thing and asked about him. The little girl is currently living in this house. What you guys do when someone is keep on looking at our house? any third person. You'll inform your parents, and your parents will go and inquire them, right? But see here, this girl is very brave. She herself inquire about this man. Why are you here? What are you doing? Why are you looking at our house? Are you going to buy it? Okay, these are the questions or kind of conversations the girl is having with this man. And the man is conversing with the girl about her family. And for all these questions, the man replied that he doesn't want to buy the house. He just want to see it. Hence, he came back and he asked about who are all in our family, what was our father, and where are they. And he used to tell that he lived there 25 years back with his grandmother, and he tells all the beautiful memories with the girl. And the girl asked them to visit the house since her parents are away. And this girl, on hearing this story or his childhood memories, he invited the man to visit the house since her parents are away. Her parents were away. They went to the club. A club is like an association. And this girl invited the man to visit the house, to come into the house and look for the internal happenings in the house. And her parents usually allowed her friends to visit her home. And why she has invited? Because she has the habit of inviting her friends to her home. In the same manner, she also invited this man to visit the house. So up to this point we have covered in the previous class. And now we'll move on to the next part. Okay, children? And the lesson title, I Can't Climb Trees Anymore. And the author of this lesson is the famous author, Mr. Ruskin Bond. We have seen his achievements in the previous class. He used to write children program poems, and he hold prestigious awards, and he born in India but brought up in Britain land or English land. His poems is full of children related things and rich of vocabulary. If you happen to read his story or poem, you might know this. Okay, so this is all about the author. And here comes the learning objective. The first thing is how a childhood memory happens to a man. What are all the childhood memories? What are all the childhood memories of you guys? Where you have studied in your first standard? Who is your friend? Which school you have studied? Or where you have lived? Who are your neighbors? And how you played with your neighborhood friends? Everything. Okay? And at the end of the lesson, we'll know how childhood memories of man affect him. So these childhood memories are very beautiful memories. Why? Because we always play and we always have fun, and these happy moments be in our mind always as a beautiful memories. And here comes the lesson part 2. So this was the conversation going between the girl and the man, and the girl invited the man to her house. Then the man is asking, wouldn't your parents mind? And for that, the girl replied, they have gone to the club, they won't mind. And I'm allowed to bring my friends home. And this girl is replying to the man that they have gone to the club, they were not at the house. Even if they were in the house, they won't mind. I'm allowed to bring my friends home, which means she used to bring her friends home, and for that their parents won't restrict. And even elderly friends like me, and this man is making a fun, even elderly friends like me, will your parents allow a friend like me who is a middle age? He is asking, the man is asking to the girl. And for that, the girl is asking the question, how old are you? And the man replied, oh, just middle aged but feeling young today. He replied that he was middle aged person but feeling young today. Middle aged is the new word. We'll see the meanings of the new words. And to prove if To prove it, he decided to climb over the wall. To prove that he is young or feeling young, he decided to climb the compound wall. And you can see the picture of a man who is climbing up the wall. Like this, the man is climbing on the wall. And instead of going round to the gate. And usually, how you enter the house? Usually, all the people will enter the house through the gate at the entrance of the house. But see what this man is doing. This man is climbing up the wall. Why? Because he wants to prove that he is of young age. Hence, he climbed over the wall. And he got up on the wall all right, but had to rest there, breathing heavily. Because of his age factor, he had the capacity to climb the wall, but with some difficulty. He found himself breathing heavily. He gasped for breath because of his age. And here are the new words. Middle aged, which means aged between 45 to 60. This man might be having the age between 45 to 60. Breathing heavily, which means difficulty in breathing. And next, middle-aged man on the flying trapeze. He muttered to himself. On climbing up the wall, he said to himself that middle-aged man flying on the trapeze. Trapeze is one thing. If you have ever gone to circus, you can see in the circus that at the top of the rope, the man used to fly and catch the person's hand. Okay, like this. Muttered means uttered words in low tone. And you can see the trapeze here. So this kind of thing happens in circus. If you happen to visit the circus, you can see this stuff over there. So this is called as trapeze. And for that, the girl replied, I'll help you, she said, and gave him her hand. He slithered, shattering the stem of a hollyhock. And near the wall, there are many plants which are very bushy and showy, with large flowers. And he becomes unsteady after he climbed up the wall at these plants. And as they walked across the grass, he spotted a stone bench under a mango tree. and he climbed up the wall, saying that middle-aged man flying on the flying trapeze, like a trapeze, he is climbing up the wall. And the girl replied that she wants to help him. And after he climbed up the wall, he becomes unsteady and he slightly fall on the stem of the hollyhock which is planted there. And after that, as they walked across the grass, he spotted a stone bench under a mango tree. And after climbing the wall, the man happened to see a stone bench under a mango tree. So this is kind of a stone bench. The bench made of stone, that is called a stone bench. And it was the bench on which his grandmother used to rest when she was tired of pruning. Pruning means cutting the or trimming the leaves of the plants. So pruning is the new word, and rest of the new words we can learn. But see here, you can see the picture of or animated video here, clipping. The man is pruning the or trimming the leaves. So on this bench, the man's grandmother used to take rest when she was tired of pruning the flowers, rose bushes and bougainvillea. So bougainvillea is a plant, kind of plant, like this. So this is a showy flower. It's beautiful, right? So on the stone bench, his grandmother used to take rest after she finished trimming the rose bushes and bougainvillea. And let's just sit here, he said. And this man just wants to sit on the stone bench. I don't want to go inside. And this man doesn't want to go inside the house. He just sat on the stone bench. And she sat beside him on the bench. And this girl also sat beside him, near him on the bench, next to next. And they were silent for some time. So after climbing up the wall, and this girl helped him by giving him the hand, and after he jumped over the wall, he became unsteady, and he saw a stone bench there, and on this stone bench his grandmother used to take rest after trimming the rose plants and bougainvillea. And he doesn't want to go inside the house, hence he just sit there, and this girl also sit behind him or near him. And after this they were quite silent for some time. And the new words: trapeze means horizontal bar hanging in two ropes used by acrobats. So this is kind of acrobatic activity in the circus, on the horizontal bar which is hanging in the rope, like this. You can see the clipping over there. And slithered means just slight unsteady. And third word, pruning, act of trimming a plant. Act of trimming a plant. And fourth one, bougainvillea. So that is a ornamental shrubby climbing plant. So bougainvillea is kind of plant which is a showy or for decorative purpose, and that is ornamental. Okay children, we'll move on to the next slide. And after both of them sat on the bench, the man closed his eyes and remembered other times. The man silently closed his eyes and remembered his childhood. The music of a piano, the chiming of a grandfather clock. So this is kind of grandfather clock, a big clock which usually gives the sound. Chiming means a kind of sound of this clock. And the constant twitter of budgerigar on the veranda. So budgerigar is nothing but a Australian parrot. So like this, you can see the picture of the parrot here. His grandfather cranking up the old car. His grandparents has a old car, and usually his grandfather used to drive, and on starting the car, when the car gears up, it gives a sound that is called as cranking up. And after remembering all these things, what are the things? The music of a piano and the chiming of a grandfather clock. This clock might be in their house, and the constant twitter of the Australian parrot, and the grandfather cranking up old car. So 4 things you used to recollect. And after this, he said that I used to climb the jackfruit tree, opening his eyes. And on closing his eyes, he used to remember all these things. What are the things? Music of a piano. Might be his grandparents might have a piano, and they might use it for singing these songs. And the music of a piano, the chiming of a grandfather clock, the constant twitter means a sound of an Australian parrot, and the grandfather cranking up the old car. And now he is opening the eyes, saying that I used to climb the jackfruit tree. And this girl is asking, do you want to climb it again? My parents won't mind. This girl is so generous that understanding the feelings of this man, she asked, do you want to climb it again? My parents won't mind. And for that, he is replying, no, not after climbing the garden wall. And he has just climbed the garden wall, which he find it difficult. And now this girl is requesting or asking, do you want to climb it again? Do you want to climb the jackfruit tree again? So he replied, no, not after climbing the garden wall. And then let's just sit here for a few minutes and talk. He just want to sit there on the stone bench and want to talk with the girl. And I mentioned the jackfruit tree because it was my favorite place. I just said because the jackfruit tree was the favorite place when I lived here. And do you see that thick branch stretching out over the roof? And this man is asking the girl that, do you see that thick branch stretching over the roof? And halfway along it's there a small hollow in which I used to keep some of my treasures. And this jackfruit tree is the favorite place in this house, and hence he mentioned it. But for that, the girl replied, do you want to climb it again? And the man replied, no, not now. And he wants to just sit there and talk. And why he mentioned is saying that it was his favorite place, and he is spotting a hollow. Hollow means a big hole, and where he used to keep the treasures. Treasure means some valuable things. And this girl is asking what kind of treasures. And here you can see the new words, chiming, which means making melodious sounds. And second, twitter, it means chirping or chipping of the bird. And third word, budgerigar, which means an Australian parrot. Fourth word, cranking, which means sound of speeding up the car. And fifth word, stretching, which means straighten or extend. And sixth word, treasures, which means precious. So these are the new words in this slide. I'll repeat again. Chiming, twitter, budgerigars, cranking, stretching, treasures. Okay children, we'll move on to the next slide. And for that question, what are the treasures you will place on the hole? The man is replying, oh, nothing very valuable. The man replied that, oh, nothing very valuable. I used to keep my treasures, but nothing most precious. Like that, the man is replying. And he's saying that marbles I won. The boys usually play this marble game. When they won the game, they used to collect the marbles. Okay, and all these collected marbles he used to place it in the hole of a jackfruit tree. And you can see the picture of a marble here. The round, small, tiny, beautiful stones. A book I was not supposed to read, and he used to collect the books but supposed to read. And few old coins. So you can see the picture of collection of coins. And things came and went. Not only this, many more things. So he used to keep the marbles in the hole, some books to read, and some collected coins. Not only this, many things come and go. Like that he replied. I was a bit of crow, collecting bright things and putting them away. This man is saying that he was like a crow. What the crow usually do? Can you guys know? This crow collects all the things and put it away. Like this, the man used to collect the things when he want and sometimes put them away. And not only that, he also said that there was my grandfather's iron cross. So iron cross is one such prestigious award when a person serving in military. The military person will have this iron cross as a award for their bravery. And he is saying that you can see or look at the picture of the iron cross. So this iron cross is the thing he used to keep over there. And well, not my grandfather's exactly. He is saying that grandfather's iron cross, but he is also saying that, well, not my grandfather's exactly. My grandfather was having that, but it's not that the iron cross belongs to him. He was British, and the iron cross was a German decoration awarded for bravery during the war, the First World War, when my grandfather fought in France. He got it from a German soldier. This man is replying about or speaking about the Iron Cross. This Iron Cross is a German award given to a German soldier for bravery. And my grandfather is British, and he fought when he was in France and in the war, First World War. Hence, a German soldier gave this Iron Cross to him. Like that, this man is saying about the Iron Cross. And the new word here is Iron Cross, which means German military decoration for bravery. So this is the part 2 of this lesson, and now we'll have the recap of this lesson. the middle-aged man is climbing the wall like trapeze. And starting off with, the man used to climb the wall. Middle age means nearly 45 to 60. And after climbing up the wall, he becomes little unsteady. And after that, he's got to see the stone bench on which both the girl and man sit together. And on sitting there on the stone bench, he closed his eyes and he just recollected all his childhood days where he enjoyed with his grandparents the sound of the piano, the clock, the bird, the car, and the stone bench. And the stone bench is the one where his grandmother used to take rest after pruning the plants. The plants like roses and bougainvillea. Okay? And the little girl is listening silently to him when he narrated his childhood memories. And this girl is finding it quite interested, and she just listened to him when he narrated all the childhood memories. And he had a secret place in the jackfruit tree where he placed all his treasures. And there was a jackfruit tree which is his favorite place, and within which there is a big hole, and within the hole he used to place all the treasures. The treasures are the marbles he collected from the games, the books he used to read, the coins he collected, all these things. And he told about the iron cross when his grandfather got from a German soldier during the war. And you can see how a hollow happens to be in a jackfruit tree. And this is the jackfruit tree where you can see the fruit, which is very big in size. And this man is saying that the iron cross is not exactly my grandfather's. He got it from a German soldier. Why? Because the iron cross is a German award given for a German soldier for his bravery. If you happen to be brave, then you guys are honored with this prestigious award. And that iron cross was given to my grandfather by a German soldier. So after climbing the wall, he spotted a stone bench there where his grandmother used to take rest after she finished her gardening, like pruning the plants, trimming the leaves of the plants. And on the stone bench he used to sit. He doesn't want to go inside the house, and he closed his eyes and recollected all the beautiful sounds, the melodious sound of the clock, the chirping of the bird, and the cranking sound of the car. And he also said that there was a jackfruit tree, and this jackfruit tree is his favorite place where he used to play all the treasures. He used to keep all the marbles, books, and old coins, and along with them he used to place an iron cross which his grandfather got from a German soldier. So these are the things we have covered in this lesson, and we'll see the assessment part. So this assessment is to assess your understanding. So just write your answers. Number 1, did the man able to climb the wall? Number 2, where did he sit and told all the memories to that girl? Where this man sit and told all the memories to the girl? And number 3, what are the memories he recollected? Number 3, what are the memories he recollected? Number 4, which is the favorite place for that man in the house? Which is the favorite place for that man in the house? Number 5. What are all the treasures he used to collect and kept in secret place? What are all the treasures he used to collect and kept in secret place? And here comes the homework. So you have to say true or false for the given statements. The first statement, the visitor had hidden a few old coins in the tree. Number 2, the jackfruit tree was still there. Number 3, as a boy, the visitor used to swing on the turnstile. Number 4, the visitor had sold the house. Number 5, a girl came out of the house. Number 6, the visitor's grandfather used to sit on the stone bench. Number 7, the visitor was able to remember the music of a piano. So these are the 7 statements for which you have to say whether these statements are true or false. This is about today's class, children. Do you like it? Hope you enjoyed hearing this story about a man who visited his childhood home and he is sharing all his childhood memories with a girl there, and we are seeing the conversations. Okay, children, the rest of the conversation will be continued in the next class. Until then, finish off your homework, learn this lesson again and again, and take care. Bye bye, children.